Today we are going to be making these adorable magnets. Supplies that you're going to need are magnet blanks. These I picked up from Temu. They came 10 to a pack. I have a lint roller. This is the sublimation paper that I used. Of course, you got to have a sublimation printer. We've got heat tape. This is just a piece of cardstock that I put on top of my pressing pad here, my heat pad. Tweezers that I used to take the tape off, lint roller, and I used my Easy Press to press them on. And I also used a light pad to line up my magnet with my sublimation paper. You don't have to use that, that's just something that's optional. But that's it. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. Okay, I have brought in my SVG and the outline for the magnet. I'm going to have to resize both of these. So for the magnet outline right here, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to unlock this, and I want to do 2.17 for both of them. Okay, and then lock it again. And then for this, I'm just going to resize this. The reason I brought the SVG in instead of the PNG, you absolutely could bring the PNG in, but I brought this one in so that you could see that you can use an SVG. Not only this one, but other ones that you find. You just have to turn it into, instead of a basic cut, it's going to be turned into a print thin cut. And you can do that by clicking on the print thin cut or coming down here and click flatten. So either way, it is now a print thin cut image. So we're going to have to resize this. And what I want to do, oh, but I also wanted to show you, that was one of the reasons I was trying to show you, if you have your SVG, you can change the colors over here. If you wanted to change it to a different color, like if you have a different beach theme that you want, you can do that. But that's one of the reasons that I like to use an SVG when I'm doing sublimation, because a PNG is a flat image and you cannot change anything. It is what it is, unless you slice something out. But this right here, if you have an SVG, you can change the colors. Okay, so back to this. I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to put it over top of this design here. And I want to shrink this down, and I'm going to bring this closer so you guys can see better. I don't know if you guys know this little trick here. If you hold your shift button, or your space bar, you can move your screen around. I know it kind of gets frustrating sometimes when you're going in and out of the zoom, that you have to like try and find it where it's at. If you are on your screen and you hit your space button, you can drag this, turns a little hand right there, and then you can find it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this inside of here. When I did mine, I resized mine. Leave this locked. My height I did 2.079. If you leave it locked, then the aspect ratio will stay the same. Okay, now this is up to you, however you want to size it, if you want it bigger or smaller. Align and center. That looks pretty good to me, but like I said, it's totally up to you. You can do it smaller if you want to. Like, let's say you have somebody who has a little beach house or a little cottage. You could put this in here and put their name at the bottom if you wanted to. Okay, but I'm going to leave mine this size, and I'm going to get rid of this because I don't want that to print. That was just for visual purposes, so I know how big to make my design. And I'm actually going to do a couple of these. I'm going to duplicate so we can get a few of them here. And then I'm going to, I want to make sure that it's the correct, it's on print and cut, not basic. So let's go make it. And I'm going to be using 8.5 by 11 paper. That's what I have. Okay. And you can move these around. I like to move them around because to me that's too close. I need some distance so that I can, when I cut them down, I can lay them over my magnet. So I'm just going to move them around here a little bit. Now I'm going to show you the printer settings that I use when I print from my Cricut. Okay, so I'm going to hit continue. Now this is what I do. This may not work for you. These are the settings that I like. I'm going to send to the printer. I am not using my Cricut to cut these out. I'm going to cut these by hand. I want to make sure that my correct printer is selected. Now this is my regular printer. If you go here, this is my Epson that I converted into a sublimation printer. So click on that. I turn my bleed off, system dialog on, click print. If it does not land in front of your screen, it may be behind your screen that's here, so you may need to look for it, but this is what comes up for my printer. Again, make sure that your printer is selected. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to click Preferences, I want to come here where it says paper type, and I want to go to Premium Presentation Paper Matte. This I want to be high. Okay, now we are going to go to More Options. I want to turn my high speed off. Click Mirror so my design is mirrored. I'm going to come over here and I want to go to Custom, Advanced. Over here I want to do Color Controls. Color Mode, I want to do Adobe RGB. And then I'm going to move these around. I want to do my brightness. I want to do 9. Contrast, I'm going to go to 7. Saturation, let's do 15. And density, let's do 4. And this gamma is going to stay on 2.2. And I will tell you, I am not a sublimation pro, and the things that I'm doing here I have picked up from sublimation courses or videos that I've watched, or other people being in Facebook groups have asked questions, and then I just adapt what I do. So this is what's working for me. If it does not work for you, I would suggest Angie Holden is wonderful for sublimation. You could find her on YouTube. That's how I figured out how to do my printer when I did my conversion for my sublimation printer. Okay, so let's click OK. And I'm going to click OK again. Again, double check to make sure your printer is selected. Click Print. And now this is going to print from your sublimation printer. After it gets done printing, I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you how to apply it, and I'm going to be using my Easy Press. So let's go ahead and hop over there and I'll show you how to get it done. Okay, we've got our sublimation print, and I'm going to turn my Easy Press on so it heats up while we are prepping this. So I'm going to do, we're going to do 360 for 40 seconds. Okay, so we're going to heat that up, let that heat up. These are the magnets that I'm using. They've got like, looks like almost like a little glitter shine to it. There is no protective paper on this. This is just how they come. And these are my prints. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut these down. I know I wasted a whole lot of paper here, but just for this demonstration, I'll go ahead and cut these lines off of here. These are the registration marks from the Cricut, so if you were going to cut it on your machine. Cut that off. Now, whichever you're more comfortable with, whether you're better ripping or cutting, I don't really ever have any luck with ripping. I end up ripping it myself, so I'm just going to cut this down. And the edges aren't going to show anyway because it's going to be on a magnet. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit this with my lint roller. Don't want to have any dust or anything on there because it will leave little blue marks. And I am horrible at lining up blanks so that they're straight. The first one that I did had a little bit of tilt to it. So I have, use my reach here. This is a light pad. You can also do this with just holding up your blank to the light, but I have horrible eyes. If you guys have not heard me talk about it before, I have a few eye issues, so this is easier for me. This is just one that I purchased a long time ago. Honestly, I probably only ever used it 3 or 4 times. You can get really cheap light boxes. I think Crayola makes one for the kids. This is just something that helps me to line up. You probably can't see how bright this is, but I'm going to put my blank on here and then line this up so that it is where I need it to be. This just helps so I can see the magnet on the other side. And I am someone who takes forever to line things up, so I'm going to speed this through so you guys don't have to watch this entire process. Okay, so that one looks okay for me. I'm just going to try and grab both of them so that they don't move and put a piece of tape on before we move this light box out of the way. set this down and then turn this off and get this out of the way here. Okay, I'm going to put some more tape on here. Okay, and then a little bit of piece of butcher paper. This is my the heat pad that comes, I don't know if it came with it or if I bought it separately, but I'm going to put a piece of cardstock down here. You can see that I pressed one earlier, but the ink did not go through, so it's okay to use again. And I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to make like a little sandwich. And flip this over so that your image is on the top. You always want to make sure that you've got your butcher paper, that's your blowout paper. If not, you could have a chance of getting ink on everything. So I'm going to fold it in half like that, and then I'm going to press this for 40 seconds. Put it right on top. Take a look here. Now you know this is going to be hot. It looks like the ink came through okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and open this up. Now, when I bought these from Temu, I honestly wasn't sure what they were going to look like, but the first one that I did turned out pretty good. You just want to keep in mind that the website says a totally different temperature. I think it said like 374. I'm not really sure, but I took recommendations from what other people said that had actually made them, and that's why I used 360 for 40 seconds. Now, because I have no patience, I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off of here. Remember that this is hot. These would be really cute for putting pictures on, these little magnets, like for Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever, Christmas. But that's it. I think it turned out so cute. What do you guys think? They aren't really sturdy, like if you are planning on using a magnet to hold up your kids' artwork or, you know, bills, whatever that you put on the refrigerator. These are more just like for decoration. They are very thin. They do not hold a whole lot of weight, but I think they turned out really cute. So let me know what you guys think. You can find the complete list of supplies I used and the free SVG in the freebie library. It's design number 155. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you.